Hey hackers, welcome to The Commit. I'm Richard. So after teaching you how to leave your job in the right way, we've invited Bie back from Dev Bootcamp. So today we're going to talk about, I think, like one of the most critical parts of the kind of job hunt process.
Absolutely.
Right, we're going to talk about salaries and we're going to talk about negotiation. Can you talk to me a little bit about, should I just be focusing on the numbers or should I be thinking more than that?
Yeah, I think everyone should definitely be thinking more beyond the numbers, right? Looking at the total compensation, right? And when I say total compensation, I mean, what are the opportunities for professional development funding and traveling expenses? The reality is, like, you may not get that yes, right? You may be asking for X and they can meet you a little 2,000 underneath X, right? And so what can you play up in order to make up for that, the 2,000 that may be missing in terms of the money that you're bringing home? And so can you play that conversation up?
So what are some of the things that you see in a package for developers? Well, what are some of these kind of additional things? You mentioned professional development.
Absolutely.
What other kind of things are people offering?
Perhaps if working out is important to you, I know my job, we offer folks stipend for working out, where that's taken care of. And we know gyms in the city can be super expensive, so that may be important. Phone expenses. Some companies will give you a little stipend towards your phone costs and things like that. And that's super cool because that's $50 less that you have to pay on your phone bill.
Right, totally.
Also equity, right? And what are the options for equity depending on where you're if it's a large enterprise or a startup?
And potentially, if the startup succeeds, quite valuable.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thinking about all these elements in a package, are they all equally important?
I would say, I think it's contextual, right? It depends on the individual and your individual need, but I do think it's important to know that you may not get that X, right? If it's an absolute that you need X amount of dollars and things like that, and that's important to you, then you have to figure out if you're going to walk away from the offer at that point. But perhaps beyond that, what are the things that you're willing to be flexible and to negotiate? Perhaps you negotiate a work from home day, right? And that gives you an opportunity to recharge. I know some, like the larger companies, they want to support your professional development by giving you time to work on your own personal projects, right? And that's a great opportunity to work in a cool company, but also be working towards your passion projects. So
absolutely. So is this what you would call my tradable issues in kind of negotiation speak? So I'm thinking about which things are really important to me and which things I can perhaps compromise on?
Absolutely, yeah. And I think it does require, when the offer is on the table, the advice that I've been given at least is that you don't want to say yes right away. Give it 24 to 48 hours to let it marinate. And it's okay to let the person know that you're going to sit on this. And that's where you then go write your list and figure out what's important to you. Take inventory of what are my must-have, what's not, what's missing and things like that. Do that reflection and then come back and decide whether or not you're going to take the offer.
One of the questions I've been asked in interviews is, how much do you expect to earn?
Yeah.
How should I approach answering this question? And maybe specifically for people who it might be their first programming job, people that are entering this profession.
I don't think you should give a specific number. You can provide a range. Say I'm hoping to be around the range of 85 to 90 as an entry-level junior developer.
Do you think that's so obviously we're filming this here in New York. Is that what you're seeing for entry-level developers?
Entry-level developers fresh out of a boot camp and or a CS university and things like that, absolutely, in New York City.
Right, so 80 to 90 as a kind of opening salvo.
Right, so I think it's super important to just at least provide a range.
Right. Obviously, commit viewers are some of the smartest people in the business. We all know that.
Yes.
But one of the things that might happen in negotiations is, what happens if they say no? How should I deal with this? Do I flip the table and walk out?
I think, we talked earlier about total compensation, the total package. Going back to the total package, they said no, or they came a little short, around 2,000, 5,000, stuff like that. But they said, hey, we're going to pay for you to go to these conferences. Hey, we're going to pay for you to get on the train because we know the train's super expensive here, right? And those type of things make, at least for me, I would say, okay, they came a little under, but they're giving me all these things, and the opportunity to grow in this company is incredible, and I'm going to say yes.
Absolutely, and I suppose the thing that I would add there is, obviously, if you don't feel it's a good fit, feel empowered to walk away from the deal.
Absolutely.
I think, obviously we're very lucky to be in a profession where there's a lot of demand for our skills. So yeah, I feel like people should feel entitled to not do deals that don't work for themselves. So thinking about kind of getting that range number, and especially for maybe people that are at different stages in their career or aren't based here in New York City, what are some resources they can use to kind of get a sense of like what that number is going to be for them?
Glassdoor is an incredible one. It's glassdoor.com, and you can go in, and typically former employees will go in and write a review of either the interview process or, in this case, the salary ranges. And that's where you can get, when people say do your research, those are websites that you can use to do your research to get a good number around ranges that folks in your position that you're looking at are getting. Another one is AngelList. They do something very similar around sharing some salary ranges. Also LinkedIn. If you have access to LinkedIn Premium, when you're looking at particular jobs in the premium option, they will provide you a range.